A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+. English, that's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hi everyone and welcome back to A+ English. I'm Pat.
And I'm Elsie.
And we're on day 3 of our story article, The Tiger Rising. Now the tiger in question is in a cage.
Right.
We know our main character found it in the woods one day. So that leads to our warm-up question. Is it right to keep animals in cages? Why or why not?
Of course, it's not right, but sometimes when people do this, maybe they try to keep the animals safe in the cage.
Yeah, there's a lot of different situations here, and sometimes the cage is just for moving them from one place to another. That kind of little dog box that they go in.
So
bird cages, birds kind of have to be in one of those or they'll just fly off.
So like when I need to take my cat to the vet, I need to put him in the cage.
What is basically a cage, right?
Yeah.
And there's a big long article and argument you could have about should we have zoos or not? Because even if the animals aren't in actual cages, which is pretty bad, is the space they live in also bad? And there are reasons for zoos and reasons against zoos. It's a whole big topic and you'll have to make your mind up. I'm in favor of zoos. I think it makes people learn about animals and learn what they can do to help them. But I can see why some people disagree.
Yeah, when you go to the zoo and see them in cages, I don't feel good about it.
Not cages, but if they're in a larger area, then...
Right, but they still have to stay in there.
That's true. As I say, it's a complicated issue. But let's leave that for now and get back to our story by reading through day 3.
The Tiger Rising. Warm-up question. Is it right to keep animals in cages? Why or why not?
Beauchamp owns the tiger. He gives Rob the cage's keys and tells him to feed the tiger. Rob and Sistine decide to let it out. It runs away. Suddenly, they hear a gunshot. Rob's father killed the tiger because he worried it could attack Rob. At this moment, the suitcase in Rob's mind opens. All the bad emotions come out. He cries about the tiger and his mother. Rob's father now understands something. He and Rob only have each other. It's all right for them to be sad about Caroline. That's the way for their emotions to heal. With Sistine's friendship and his father's love, Rob's life will get better.
So you might remember that Rob, the main character, he lives in a motel. His dad works there, and the boss and owner of the hotel and the area around is a man called Beauchamp. And we learn in the article, Beauchamp owns the tiger.
所以这个老板也就是 motel 的主人，他也是这只老虎的主人。
Right, and I guess he finds out that Rob knows about the tiger, and we see he gives Rob the cage's keys and tells him to feed the tiger. Which is maybe a little bit dangerous for a 12-year-old boy. I don't know whether he's...
asking him to feed the tiger?
Yeah, and giving him the keys so he might let the tiger out. I mean, that's not a responsible thing to do, but it happens.
好，那我们先看一下 key 这个字该怎么使用它。Key 指的是钥匙。那课文说到呢，这个人给了 Rob 笼子的钥匙，然后还要叫他去喂这只老虎。那再给同学们一个 钥匙的例句哦。For example, I forgot my car key in the car. 我把车钥匙忘在车子里了。那另外呢 key 还可以当作关键 the key to something 或者是 the key to doing something 那就是达成某事的关键像是呢我们可以说 persistence is the key to success 代表坚持到底呢是成功的关键那单字例句给的是I can't get into my house because I lost my key 我没有办法进家门因为我弄丢了我的钥匙
So some people keep their keys in a purse or a bag, other people in their pocket. Sometimes they kind of clip them to part of their clothes. Where do you keep your keys?
In my bag.
You keep them in your bag, do you? Okay, I would if I was in the office sitting down. When I'm out and about, I have a chain because I've lost them a few times in the past and I thought I need to kind of attach these to me so I'm getting something out of my pocket, I don't want to lose my keys. So Rob gets the key to the tiger cage. He's supposed to just feed it. But I think it's pretty obvious what's going to happen now. You give a 12-year-old keys and he thinks, this poor tiger in a cage, what should I do? The article says Rob and Sistine decide to let it out.
They both decide to do this.
But, I mean, if it's a dog, fair enough. This is a tiger. Tigers are big, strong cats and powerful predators that might eat people if they were really hungry.
But they decide to let it out. Let something out 或是 let somebody out 那就是放开放走某人或某物
Exactly. You could say, don't let the dog out of the yard. It might run into the road. So they open the cage, they let the tiger out, and like any tiger would, the article says it runs away.
对啊，有人帮他开笼子的门，那当然赶快跑走。
Right, and so they could be a tiger running around in Florida. That's maybe not a good thing. But what happens next is also not good. The article says suddenly they hear a gunshot.
Suddenly 它是一个副词哦，什么意思呢 ？Let's find out.Suddenly 这个副词代表突然地或是出乎意料地，那它是由前面的 sudden 这个形容词代表突然间的，再加上字尾的 ly 组成的一个副词。所以呢，我们可以说 suddenly， 也可以说 all of a sudden， 好，都是突然之间。For example, the car in front of me stopped suddenly, so I hit it. 在我前面的车突然停下来，所以我就撞上去了。那单字例句说的是 The loud sound of thunder suddenly woke Ari. 打雷的巨响突然吵醒了 Ari.
Right, this adverb is used when something happens very quickly. It's like right in your face. You definitely weren't expecting it. It was a surprise. So you could say, I was walking along the road when I suddenly smelled smoke. It was a fire.
Okay, so suddenly they hear a gunshot. 代表是枪击声、枪声。
Right. Now, we could just say shot here. Suddenly they heard a shot, but we can use the word gunshot. It's all one word. To make it clear, this is a gun being fired. This is the noise, a gunshot. So you might say, the woman called the police when she heard a gunshot in her neighborhood. As you would, really. So what was this gunshot? What happened? The article says, Rob's father killed the tiger because he worried it could attack Rob.
Okay, 所以 Rob 的爸爸显然就是遇到了这只老虎，然后他就把它给杀了，因为他担心呢老虎会攻击 Rob.
Yeah, I suppose if you had a gun, as many Americans do, and you saw a tiger, that's kind of like, oh my God, my kid's out here somewhere.
Right.
I better try and shoot this thing. Maybe he was just trying to scare it off. Maybe he was trying to kill it. But there we go. But the result of this relates back to what we were talking about in day one. We see at this moment, when they realize the tiger is dead, the suitcase in Rob's mind opens.
我们之前提到 Rob 的心中有一个行李箱、手提箱，那就在这个时候 Rob 心中的行李箱被打开了。
Right, this was this kind of box in his mind, this imaginary place where he put all his bad feelings so he didn't have to deal with them, but now, poof, it's opened. There's a story, a Greek story, Pandora's box. It's kind of the same thing. It's opened and the article says, all the bad emotions come out. So the anger, the fear, I'm so sad about my mom, I hate this place, I hate the other kids, all of these feelings he's been trying to push down, boom, they're out.
Come out 代表就是倾泻而出，所以他这时候那些不好的情绪全部都出来了。
Right, you might say the man tried to remain calm and not let his anger come out. So all of these feelings just overwhelm him, and as you would, you cry. The article says he cries about the tiger and his mother.
他就为这只老虎还有他母亲哭泣。
Right. Remember, his father was telling him, don't cry, crying won't bring her
it's
back.
No use.
So he's tried not to think about it, but in the end, it just all comes out. But there is a good result to this. We see in the article, Rob's father now understands something. He and Rob only have each other.
Each other 这个片语啊，代表是彼此双方。那怎么样使用呢？我们先进到 Magic Box 听讲师讲解喽。
Magic Box.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Isaac。不知道大家在学习英文的时候呢，有没有常常把这个 each 跟 every 这两个字呢，把它搞混哦？那 each 呢，可以作为一个限定词和代名词，表示的意思呢，就是每个或者是各自。那 every 呢，则是作为一个限定词使用哦，表示是每个。那 each 呢，通常我们会用来表示两个人，或者呢是两个人以上。那 every 呢，则是指三人或是三人以上。那接着我们就要进入今天的这个 Magic Box 啦。今天要介绍给大家的就是 each other 这个片语哦。那其实它表示的意思呢，就是彼此双方。那通常我们表示的就是两个人这样的意思。那其实呢，我们这个片语呢，我们也可以把它用 one another 来做替换哦。那我们来造一个例句 ：After the big fight, Tom and Andy apologized to each other. 大吵过后呢 ，Tom 跟 Andy 向彼此道歉。那这句话呢，其实我们把它替换成 one another 也是可以的哦，那就会变成 After the big fight, Tom and Andy apologized to one another. 不过这边要特别提醒大家一下哦，就是我们在使用 each other 以及 one another 的时候，只能用来作为受词使用，不可以作为句子的主词哦。所以呢，如果你看到某一个句子呢是以 each other 或是 one another 开头的话，就要警觉，这句话呢的用法是错的。像是呢，如果你要表示，那些女孩们呢，就是她们彼此之间是闺蜜，她们会互相穿彼此的衣服。那这时候我们就可以说 ，Those girls are close friends, and they share their clothes with each other， 或者 with one another。那如果你今天看到这个句子变成 Those girls are good friends, and each other 或是 one another share their clothes， 那这句话呢就是错的喽。那今天 Magic Box 我们就到这边啦，我们下次见，拜拜。
Rob 的爸爸呢，现在终于懂得一件事情，是他之前不知道的。好，就是呢，他跟 Rob 只剩下 each other， 也就是彼此。
Right, this kind of seeing how sad his son is, this kind of switches on a light bulb in his mind, like, oh, he's really still sad, and I'm really the only one who's there for him, and he's the only one who's there for me. So he also realizes something else. The article says it's all right for them to be sad about Caroline. Of course it is. You shouldn't hide that sort of thing.
Caroline 就是他的妈妈，好 Rob 的妈妈，所以这边啊说到为他伤心是可以的。It's okay to be sad. It's okay to cry.
Exactly. As the article points out, that's the way for their emotions to heal.
OK， 我们这边看到 way 这个字怎么解释呢 ？Let's take a look.Way 这个名词啊，代表是方法、方式。那我们可以说 the way to do something， 或者是 the way of doing something， 那就是做某事的办法。所以我们可以说 exercising regularly is one of the ways to stay healthy。规律运动呢是维持健康的方法之一。那当然 way 这个名词还可以当作路或是方向。So for example, I saw a car accident on my way home， 代表我在回家的路上看到一场车祸。那单字例句给的是呢 Alex knows a good way to solve these math problems， 代表他知道一个解这些数学问题的好方法。
So we use way to talk about how things happen, the good things you can do to get a result. Like, this is the best way to cook instant noodles. Let me show you. And so by kind of getting through your emotions, by letting yourself feel them, not hiding them away or forcing them into some suitcase, you can start to heal.
对，伤心难过呢，其实是让情绪愈合的方式。那愈合这个动词啊，我们用的是 heal。
You could talk about healing for like a real wound, like when your body repairs itself, that kind of thing. If you play a lot of kind of RPG video games, there are magic spells that heal everyone and get their HP back up again. Here, of course, we're talking about sort of recovering. You'll always feel sad, you'll always kind of think about this person and miss them, but it stops interfering with your normal life. You're able to move on and kind of get on with things. So we see in the article, with Sistine's friendship and his father's love, Rob's life will get better.
没错，有他们的帮助呢，那当然这个 Rob 的生活就会变得更好。那 life 这个字指的就是生活，怎么用呢？ Let's find out。Life 这个字呢，当名词用，代表生活。那我们一个人呢，有很多不同种的生活，像是 family life， 你有一个家庭生活 ；school life， 学校的生活；之后还有工作的生活 working life。那如果一个人他生活多彩多姿，你可以用 colorful 来形容。When somebody has a colorful life， 那就是多彩多姿的生活。那 life 这个字还可以当做生命来解释哦，像是我们可以说 life is too short， 代表生命太短暂了。那复数形记得去掉字尾的 fe 加上 ves， 念作 lives。For example, cats are said to have 9 lives。据说猫有9条命，不知道是不是真的。那单字例句给的是 Andrea hates her school life because she has no friends at school， 代表她讨厌她的生活，因为在学校都没有朋友。
And here's another example. Life can be hard if you don't have much money.
Okay, so here in our story, we see a happy ending.
Yeah, exactly. At least a hopeful ending. So now let's go to today's review time activity.
Review time!
So, in our article, we've had all kinds of different things happen. So let's review what did happen in the story. We'll exchange some questions to see if we can remember some of the details. So, my question for you, where is Rob's rash?
Oh, where's Rob's rash? It's on his legs.
That's right. He got
both legs, right?
Yes, both legs. Okay, your question?
Okay, where do Rob and his father live now?
Where do they live? So they were living in Florida in the US. They moved from one city to another city. I think it's called Lister now they live in, and they have to live in a motel.
Right,
they live motorway hotel.
Yeah, in a motel.
Okay, so my question then, and it does kind of relate to it, maybe it's giving it away. Who is Beauchamp?
Beauchamp, 他是 Rob's dad's boss.
Yes, and what kind of role has he got?
What kind of role?
Like, what's his job?
He's the owner of the motel.
And
the woods.
And
the tiger.
That's right. Okay, so your question for me.
Okay, how does Rob treat his emotions?
Okay, this was obviously a big kind of point about what happened with Rob. What did he do with his feelings, his emotions? He imagined a suitcase and put his feelings in it.
没错。
Okay, what is Rob's mum's name?
他妈妈的名字 Caroline.
Okay, that's right.
Okay, and here's another one. Where did Sistine get her name?
Oh, that was a good one. He had a friend called Sistine, right?
Yes.
Where did Sistine get her name? From a famous chapel, one that was in Rome.
没错。
So this story was all about the tiger rising. We know who owned the tiger, but what happens to the tiger in the end?
Rob's father shoots it.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. We could also, if you were thinking about it in a different way, maybe the tiger is actually Rob or Rob's emotions, and them coming out is the tiger rising.
Yeah.
So sometimes you can play around with the words in titles and have different meanings to what on the surface. It's the real tiger.
And the cage is actually the suitcase.
Yes, could be. So they're let out of he lets the tiger out of the cage, he lets his bad emotions out of the suitcase. That's all kind of metaphor, imagery, very cool stuff. But that's all the time we've got. Thanks for watching, everybody. For A+ English, I'm Pat.
I'm Elsie.
We'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The Tiger Rising. Warm-up question. Is it right to keep animals in cages? Why or why not?
Beauchamp owns the tiger. He gives Rob the cage's keys and tells him to feed the tiger. Rob and Sistine decide to let it out. It runs away. Suddenly, they hear a gunshot. Rob's father killed the tiger because he worried it could attack Rob. At this moment, the suitcase in Rob's mind opens. All the bad emotions come out. He cries about the tiger and his mother. Rob's father now understands something. He and Rob only have each other. It's all right for them to be sad about Caroline. That's the way for their emotions to heal. With Sistine's friendship and his father's love, Rob's life will get better.
Word power.
Key. Key. I can't get into my house because I lost my key. I can't get into my house because I lost my key. Suddenly. Suddenly. The loud sound of thunder suddenly woke Airy. The loud sound of thunder suddenly woke Airy. Way. Way. Alex knows a good way to solve these math problems. Alex knows a good way to solve these math problems. Life. Life. Andrea hates her school life because she has no friends at school. Andrea hates her school life because she has no friends at school.
认识字汇
Gunshot. Gunshot. Heel. Heel.